So we'll start by reducing the size of this. Okay, so in order to record our guitar, we'll need a track to record our guitar on. So we'll go ahead and add a bunch of new tracks here that we can use for guitar. Right click. Excuse me. This time we are going to select audio tracks because we need audio tracks in order to record a guitar. Normally, I would use mono when I record my acoustic guitar, but actually my electric guitar actually, or the effects box I use actually have a stereo output. So I am going to use stereo here. I'm going to call this Git. And we're going to add, let's add 5 tracks to start with. 5, or rather we can make this a bit more understandable. Guitar. And that's it. There's a bunch of, we change the configuration here to make it stereo instead of mono, as I said. Here's a bunch of other templates you can use, or rather these are my templates that I've made throughout the years. I rarely use them, but it's templates, yeah, get put here. We'll make it stereo and we'll add 5 tracks. And you can see that we immediately get 5 tracks here. Now if we look through, start by looking at the first track, you can see that it looks almost the same as the MIDI track. Instead we have these which are to phase invert the different channels, which we're not going to do here. But here we have the input. And I'm going to left click this, and you can see that we are on hardware and we are automatically connected to our system output. That is great because we are going to record from our system, or from our system input. Sorry, that's where we're connected, our capture. So this is my sound card, which is what we're going to use. If I would want to record things on this track from, for instance, this channel, this track, my electric piano, I could go here to audio tracks. I could select these. And basically you click in order to connect. So you can see that when I click this, the left channel, let's get connected to the left channel of this. And if I click this, the right channel gets connected to the right channel of this. But we're not going to do that because that wouldn't make much sense. Just to show you. Okay, so we're done with the connection matrix here. You can also get easily accessible to all of the available inputs that you can connect to without having to go into the configuration dialog, and you'll notice that the ePiano outputs aren't here, and that's because MIDI tracks don't for some reason get their outputs put here. So it's only the system outs, the system ins and other tracks with the same configuration. But okay, we're going to use in 1+2. So actually, if let's see if I can do this without wrecking my entire studio space here. I'm going to. Yep. Sorry, give me a second here. Okay, so here's I now have my guitar. And if we try and... Okay, so in order to see if we're actually making sound, as you can see, no meters react here now. So you would be led to believe that this isn't actually working with the input. But I think it does, because in order to, the metering is still set at post, and it's not metering at the in. So if we go ahead and press record enable, you can see that my voice gets detected here, because that's also going through the system ins. So there you go. You can see that the guitar is in fact working. Now in order to record, this works much like MIDI. If I want to record something, I do like this. I am recording over this. This is like spoken word. It's awesome. You can see that if we armed it. Yeah, sorry. I'm going a bit too quick here. We arm the track and we arm this and we press play and it records. So if I play back here, I am recording over this. This is like spoken word. It's awesome. Good. That's almost poetry. So you can see that the recording works. But now what we're going to do is we're going to briefly play through this, and I'm just going to see if I can find something nice to play on the guitar to this. It's an A minor, so that should be possible. Okay, so whatever, we're not going to find anything too nice, but we are going to try here to record. And there's a bunch of airplanes and things in the background, and my voice, my breathing and everything, so that'll get recorded too. That'll be a nice extra effect. But basically what I want to do now is I want to record a little of my guitar. Just record something very basic. Just make a few sounds, and then we'll see if we can edit out the things that we like. So I'll arm here, and I'll start recording. I'll record for a little while. So that'll have to do. Nothing revolutionary in there. Oh, sorry. So my plan here is to cut out small things out of this one and use them all over the song here. So we're done with the recording. This is just some very basic recording. As I said, you can replace this with whatever you want. You can record your voice. This is my system in. So anything you can connect to your system in can be recorded this way. So I've removed my guitar from my lap. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to increase the size of this track, make it a little bit easier to work with. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to normalize the track to increase the volume of it. To do that, you press N. And you can select how much you want to raise the volume of the track. I want to pull it all the way up to 0.0. Excuse me, so I'll do that like this, and I'll zoom in and we'll have a little look here. So now, excuse me. So now what we're going to do is we want to play through this. I'm going to lower the volume of this, play through this and find interesting melodies, kind of, or if there's anything like that even in this. We'll see. So we start by playing this, seeing if we can hear anything, anything we can use. Making notes again here. Hear the kids in the background screaming in the yard. Okay, so there's a few things here we can attempt to kind of use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to cut these small segments out of this larger region. So we're going to zoom in here. Here's something I'm thinking about this one. That might be something. I'm going to start by decreasing the size, or rather the depth of the grid, or increasing the depth, or whatever it is, to 32, which means that I have good precision when I work here. We'll start by listening. Is it this one I thought? We'll try and cut this out. We'll zoom in. You can see that this is roughly where it starts. We'll press S to split. And we'll go back and we'll do the same thing here. Here we go. And we know that there's nothing usable back here, so we'll mark that and delete. Okay, so now we have this in its own region. Actually, we're going to grab that and pull that back. And the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to automatically crossfade here. And in order to do that, you can grab this little box up here. You can pull that in, and you can see that it creates an automatic crossfade. So if we solo this track, we only hear the output of that. You can see that we have a crossfade. We can increase that, we can make it longer. That could be nice, and we can right click this and select the kind of way the crossfade should work. So if we do fast, for instance, it'll fade out very fast. If we do slow, a little bit slower. Symmetric, and constant power. That sounds good. We'll keep the constant power. We're going to try to, actually we'll go ahead here and we're going to place this in beat. So we're going to go back here and scroll down to beats. So now that when I move this, it'll snap to beats like this. So this I can use this to put this in beat. So for instance, if I remove the solo here so we can hear everything, we play from here. So that's like a little sample. Okay, so we're done with that for now. Pull that down to guitar 2. You can pull things around in tracks just by left clicking it and dragging it. If you want to move something without risking moving it out of position, if you want to move something that's very specifically placed, for instance, you can use the mouse 3 button. So you can click the mouse 3 and move it in. You can see if I drag my cursor around, it'll only move in the same kind of, in the same beat or space. So move that down, put that on this track, mute that meanwhile so we don't have to hear it. And we'll go ahead and remove this marker because we're done with that. And we can see that the next thing we think we liked was here. We'll increase the depth again to 32. Yeah, and this marker also probably indicates, let's see. Listen to the screaming kids again. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, we'll remove this because we're going to grab, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this entire thing here from this point to this point. Remove you again. Go ahead and grab you like that. That's roughly okay. We'll make sure this is aligning to how the sound starts. All the way here. This is about when the sound ends. So we cut this. We're not going to use this. We remember that. So we'll cut that. We'll make an automatic crossfade, so we don't have to hear the kids, although they are beautiful and charming in every single possible way, especially early in the mornings and late in the nights. We'll pull this. Oh, sorry. What I did now is I decreased the depth of the grid again, so I can move things in beat. So we'll listen to how this sounds at the start here. There's a bit of a kid still left there, but yeah, it'll have to stay. Okay, so we'll move on. I guess that's what I thought about, and I guess that can work. We'll increase the depth. Since I'm moving along the markers here and just looking at what I've made notes of, basically. Go ahead here and do that. Remove this because we don't need that. Cut that there. That's about where the actually will. Sorry, I cut that again. I'm using S when I cut stuff here. Okay, so we'll pull that back. We'll make an automatic crossfade. Pull it in. We'll change this to beats. We'll pull it so it's in beat. like that, and we'll listen. Oh, beautiful. No, but it'll have to do. We'll go here again, and we'll listen to this. So that's the final thing that we want. Okay, here's something. Actually, we're only going to take this and then nothing more. That'll have to be enough. We'll increase the depth. We'll cut there. We'll remove this part. We'll decrease the depth, the beats. Okay, we can create a crossfade anyway. And we'll do like that. We'll listen. Oh, beautiful. Fairly out of beat, but still, we'll remove all of the location markers. Okay, so now we have 4 different segments. Sorry. So what we want to do with these are, we'll decrease the size of this track again. We'll just place these out throughout the song, and we'll pan them differently. So we'll start by creating a left panning channel. This is the way I like to do it instead of automating and things like that. Call this guitar left. In guitar left, we'll make the stereo field narrower so we can move it. We'll move it all the way out to the left. We'll take guitar 3. We'll call it guitar R. Remove the mute. We'll make this even smaller as well. And we'll move it to the right. And we'll keep the other ones as they are. Now, usually when you pan stuff like this, you'll need to reduce the volume of them quite a lot. So we'll pull this down to -7. We'll do the same for these. -7. I will start by just testing how these different things sound. So if we place these a little bit like, with no real plan here, just listen to how they sound. We'll start playback. So this one is a hot candidate for something that comes first. So we'll move this there. We'll move this back here. Reduce the volume a bit more here. Try this. Okay, so we have something bass. We don't have, this one isn't put right, but we have something we can use here. We'll mark all of this. We're going to copy these now. Mark all of this, and we hold Control and left click. If we hold Control and left click when marked, we copy things without having to, without having to manually duplicate and things like that, or Control, copy and paste. So, and these don't work quite the same as the MIDI regions do. All of these represent the same recorded file on my computer. So, for instance, nothing ever gets lost here. So, if I want to find something else in the recording I did before, I can just pull this out and I get the entire recording here. Same goes back here. So, here's an awful lot of screaming going on here. Okay, sorry. This is the way regions work. This is just a representation of the file. In the same way, if I edit this one, that one doesn't get edited. There's no linking of regions in that fashion here when editing audio. So if we play this, I want to place this somewhere here maybe. We play this again. Okay, so actually we're going to decrease the volume of this a bit here, but we're not going to do much more in this video because beyond this it's just a bunch of editing things and things like that. So actually, I am going to conclude the video here. I want to thank you a lot for watching, and if you have questions or anything, please put them on the in the comment section of this video, or on the Libre Music Productions website. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you have requests for other tutorials or anything like that, please contact us. And yeah, have a nice day. I'm going to go out now and see if I can make some kids be silent so I can get some work done today. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.